there's a scene that's with the actor that definitely tells me that this is full up B-level horror. Is when after she says her piece, she does like a slow pay a Wilson behind the gate or whatever. Hi, I'm Matt, No Market Media.
And I'm Randall. Today, Matt and I are taking a look at a new movie for you. Apparently a movie my sister really wanted us to look at, so we were going to do it anyways, but thank you for letting us know that you're interested. Studio 666. It stars the Foo Fighters as themselves, more or less, and Jeff Garlin and Whitney Cummings. It is directed by B.J. McDonnell, who is best known for music video production for the band Slayer and his directorial debut, Hatchet 3. So, if you like this kind of video, make sure you give it a like. Those likes definitely help us out. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to be bugged every time we upload new content, ring the bell icon.
In Studio 666, the Foo Fighters move in together to spur inspiration for a new album. But band frontrunner Dave Grohl soon becomes possessed by forces out for both blood and a killer song. It has received mixed reviews from critics, but mostly positive reviews from audiences. Now, filming reportedly took place in secret using the exact same house the band used to record their album, Medicine at Midnight. The Foo Fighters also reportedly recorded a full album for a fictional band in the movie, and that album is set to be released soon.
It's a metal album. From the Foo Fighters. So, while I don't think this movie actually hits all the time on its comedy horror aspects, I absolutely love the parts where there's a horror cliche that's going to happen, and they never, ever disappoint with the horror cliches. If there's a dark stairwell to be gone down, they're going down that dark stairwell. Yeah. You know, if there's some sexy scene going on, well, you all know what happens to people who have sexy scenes in horror movies.
Yep.
They die.
It's one of the rules.
It's one of the rules.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, number 1, you can never have sex. Big no-no!
So, like, I appreciate that even though it's kind of definitely B, it's like, hey, you know what? We're not even going to leave the viewers thinking for a second that we're going to let these cliches pass.
Yep. Yeah, this is full on. We're like fully embracing going, like you said, for everything in a B horror film, we're going to go and we're going to do it. We're not going to be ashamed or bashful to do it. I, though, was a little bit surprised with how graphic this movie actually is. Even, you know, I mean, it's a B-level horror film, and you normally see over-the-top gore, but this, to me, was a little bit more, like, realistic gore and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this movie. This is one of those movies that I actually laughed throughout.
Oh, well, we'll catch up on that later.
You know, the plot and everything, this actually may be the lowest aspect or whatever of the film for me, but, you know, it's B-level horror. I mean, we've done movies where you think it was like, hey, we're just going to do a horror film on a certain, you know, idea, and then we're just going to run with that idea. So this one, it's like, you know, plot is like, all right, you know, we need this album to come out. We don't have real inspiration for it, so let's go to this new house or whatever. They were thinking of more like, yeah, we want like cast or whatever, but
yeah, well, we want a sound.
Yeah, we want a sound, but instead, you know, they end up in a house where they, unknown to them, that a band was killed or killed each other or whatever, you know, decades before and stuff, and that's when craziness starts happening. So
they should have listened to the neighbor.
They should have listened.
Should have listened to the neighbor.
Yep.
Tried to warn them.
Yep. So me, I see like two elements. There's like the band and stuff trying to get an album together, which, you know, the band knows what that is, so I'm sure they had a lot of input on that part. Yeah. And, you know, kind of like this horror thing going on at the same time too.
Finish the song, Dave, is probably something that Dave Grohl has heard many, many times throughout his life, honestly.
Let's finish the track.
Can't we just wait, dude?
And that's, to me, that's the biggest plot point that I picked up. So this demon possession that happens to Dave Grohl is all about, like, finishing this song so that way it can come into the real world, basically. Like, that, for me, that's the real plot point. Not necessarily everything that goes on with, hey, we need to finish this 10th studio album and do it this special way or anything like that. I latched onto the plot points that are all about the demon and the possession and the song. And for me, I think that was probably why I enjoyed the plot maybe a little bit more. I mean, but it's still, like you said, it's the lowest link in any B-rated horror movie. It's like, you just don't need much to go. You just, yeah, this is what happens. And, you know, this is not really, you know, anything new. We did, like you said, we've done other movies where this is similar. But I'd say this is better than a lot of the B-horror movies that we've previously reviewed on our channel, at least.
Yeah, I actually like this one, and I think that's part of the thing. Like I said too, like I was laughing through the whole thing. This isn't a movie that strives to be a good horror film and then just ends up being a B level horror film. It's not one of those movies that's like it's so bad that it's good. It's a movie that's really trying to be that
To be a B.
To be a B, you know, with story and everything. Like the story aspect or whatever is supposed to be like, yeah, this isn't gonna be some like real like in-depth story or anything. This is, you know, the band needs to make music and the demon needs music, so that it goes together.
I think Spinal Tap and Pick a Destiny. Alright, character-wise, most of this is the Foo Fighters being caricatures of themselves.
Yep.
They're clearly not playing their real-life personas, but that does not change the fact that even playing caricatures of themselves, some of them are pretty bad at it.
Let me apologize in advance for all the rock we're about to make.
So I'll give credit where credit's due. Dave Grohl does a really good job as the lead of this, but he also has, like, the easiest job to do. He's like, just act like you're possessed. Be crazy. His performance is good, and near the end, where things get a little bit more crazy, and I think maybe the filmmakers start having a little bit more fun, and the cast starts having a little bit more fun, things end up being a little bit more entertaining, especially with the drummer. I particularly liked the way things went with the drummer's character. I was like, because he is maybe one of the worst of the actors, in my opinion, but it ended up working out for the film.
Well, another one of the characters is kind of interesting that they have one that's like, oh, he's just sleeping anywhere. He's like sleeping in the kitchen kind of thing.
Yeah.
That I'm just kind of like, oh my goodness, you know, kind of.
It's funny.
I mean, but yeah, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be funny. Like it builds into that, you know, we take maybe a real life or some tendencies of our bandmates and then we expand on them or as like a joke, you know, they're bigger than, you know, what they are in real life kind of thing. We also have our supporting cast and stuff. Now, these are the real, like, you know...
Actual actors.
These are characters that are like, hey, every horror film has, like, these type of characters, so we gotta put them in. We gotta have, you know, the neighbor that has information and stuff, but is also, you know, kind of... I don't know, I don't want to say interested, but kind of like out there and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a scene that's with the actor that definitely tells me that, yeah, this is full of B-level horror, is when after she says her piece, she does like a slow pay a Wilson behind the gator or whatever. I mean, I'm acting out because I doubt I'll actually find B-roll of that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, actually, so knowing that, it's like, yeah, they're going full B level with this.
Yeah, there's no intention. The actors who are real actors in this, they know it's B.
Yep.
And they, you know, I'm sure the Foo Fighters do too. Everyone involved knows this is a B movie, okay? That they're doing it on purpose. But it's funny to see real actors play in B movies and know it is. Which I don't think they were doing in Moonfall. Go watch that review. But yeah, like this character, the neighbor character, she's interesting. She's B right away, and she's B throughout the entire thing. And then, you know, if there's a sexy scene, something bad's gonna happen.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So it's just they're literally get that cliche out of the way, get the
Mhm.
gore in that's required for a B horror film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so the characters are entertaining. I guess that's probably the best part about it is the characters are entertaining.
And if some of the supporting characters too are only in it like a little bit too, like like the delivery driver and stuff too, but
Yeah.
plays that role or whatever and kind of
Well,
gets us going a little
and
bit.
the real estate agent, she's there, but
Mhm.
like she knows what's going on.
Mhm.
But you don't see her very often. And the agent, you hear them talk about it. He's got a scene at the
Yep.
beginning, and then he shows back up near the end, and you're like, huh, okay. You know, but yeah, it's almost exclusively the Foo Fighters and this neighbor.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so for genre aspects, I mean, what we've been saying through the whole thing, this is B-level horror film. I mean, it is about a band, and I thought maybe they might go more kind of like musical or whatever. We do have scenes where the bands are like jamming out and stuff, and we do have, a cameo by Lionel Richie or whatever in this movie,
That is
which
so
is kind of
good.
funny.
So funny.
But, most part, this is B-level horror film. Straight on, this movie tells you from the beginning, and, even when we have our first, like, meeting with the band and they're talking with the agent and stuff, and it's the
Yeah.
whole, like, we have the perfect place in mind for you kind of thing. It's like, yeah, no doubt about it. Straight up, we're gonna fit all of it and let the audience know that we're definitely going for B-level horror.
Yeah, so for me, I kind of went in thinking, well, it's going to be horror comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that they were going to go straight B
Yep.
until I started watching it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's that kind of film.
Yep.
So, like, you go in and expecting horror comedy, and I guess I didn't really get all of those marks. I didn't hit all those marks. I laughed. I didn't laugh throughout. I laughed at some parts where I'm like, I don't know that everyone else is going to laugh at that, but I'm laughing at it. Like, stupid things like Pearl Jam High Five. And I don't get it. Okay? I'm not as into music to get that joke.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously somebody's going to get that joke. And I'm
Yep.
like, I don't get it, but I understand it's funny.
I like how the next door neighbor is like, you're my second favorite band after Coldplay.
No,
Or
that's the
something like
delivery
that. Or
guy.
the delivery guy.
That's the delivery guy.
Yeah, one
You're
of
my-
them is like,
You're my
yeah,
second favorite after Coldplay. And like,
yeah. So it's another one
those
of those
bands
like,
are very different bands.
Yep, it's like a musical joke and stuff too. If you're someone that's like, hey, I'm seeing this movie because of the Foo Fighters.
Yes.
Where
yeah.
us, I don't think we were really going in because it's the Foo Fighters. We
No.
like the premise or
I
whatever.
mean,
of
they
it.
are the hook, though.
They are the hook.
They are the hook.
You
So,
couldn't have done this with just any band, I don't think.
and they're a big enough band so that way you can get all of your like horror cliche kills in,
Mhm.
basically. Because if you did this with like a Blink-182 and there's 3 of them,
Mm-hmm.
not enough, Foo Fighters worked very well.
Yep.
From the horror side of things, though, as far as the genre goes, it leans much more towards gore, which you pointed out.
Yes.
And it's good gore. Like, it doesn't look terribly fake. You know it's fake. I don't want to say it's like aiming for realism. It's not.
Mhm.
But it's not, oh my god, that is so terribly fake. Nope. So it's not really leaning into the scares, it's leaning into the gore for the horror aspects.
Especially like the sexy time death. I mean, you can definitely see the transition, and it's like, yep, that is. You can see exactly when it's no longer real people anymore.
I think the ones that you can the ones you see the most are the throw up moments,
Mhm.
where it's just like they didn't even try that hard. But at the same time, it's entertaining.
Yep.
It's good. It's good horror gore. Okay, didn't see that coming. Number 1, big spoiler. My didn't see it coming is a spoiler. If you want to see this movie, just shut your ears. Don't listen to this part. I swear. Going to ruin it. The ending's fantastic. All right, and the ending is fantastic because it's a joke in and of the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
The whole movie's talking about this demon. Finish the song. The song ends up being something stupid, ludicrous, like it's a 46-minute song,
Yep.
or something like that. And then the movie's ending comes, and you're like, okay, cool, that's the ending. And then there's another. And then there's another. So by my counting, there's 4 actual endings to this film at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a joke on itself.
Mhm.
It's like, finish the movie already. Well, we don't know how to finish the movie. We don't know how to end it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's an hour and 50 minutes long, and it's got 4 endings. It's not Lord of the Rings. It didn't take 3 movies to get to, you know, all these endings so you can have a Lord of the Rings ending.
Yep.
It's an hour and 50 minutes and has 4 endings, and I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, it does have layers that go on, you know, to go over. So yeah, that was a bit unexpected. For me, what I didn't see coming, and you know, I've said this throughout our entire review today, is still like the gore. Actually, what they went with the gore, and I guess what I didn't see coming is at the beginning, starting off with that. It actually is probably one of, for like me, one of the most, like, I wouldn't say visually graphic, but for me, gave me like kind of like the chills graphic. When you actually, I wouldn't say this is a spoiler because you see it in the first like 5 seconds down there. When you see a bone coming out of someone's extremity, one of their extremities and stuff, like to me, that's like, you know, kind of thing. That really just put me right in, like, oh, that's what this movie is.
I saw that and I was like, that's fake.
I didn't.
Because I mean, it's not that the special effects or makeup isn't good about it. It's that her leg is wrong. It's like if your femur was really broken, your leg wouldn't be so straight. Like
yeah,
the portrayal was wrong. But yeah, it right away, it's gore.
But I would think like the opposite. Like sometimes like over the top gore, we used to do something like when we did like Kill Bill. When someone's arm gets like chopped off and blood starts squirting out.
Completely different.
That is not this gore.
No.
At all. So
it's more like meaty gore. Yeah, like it's not always blood spilling everywhere. It's flesh.
Yep.
Fleshy gore.
So yeah, that I wasn't really expecting as much. I was expecting the other one.
And then shortly thereafter, like, I don't know, also not really a spoiler because it's like a minute into the film, the head bashing in with the hammer was pretty graphic.
Yes, it was.
Sets the stage.
Yeah, and it's the beginning. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's that stage. You're going to know in the first, like, 2 minutes of the film, like, yeah, that's what this film's going to have. Be ready. Get strapped in. Alright, so final conclusions and stuff. This is a movie that I did enjoy throughout. It is a movie that, whether it was supposed to be funny or not, I was laughing through the movie. Just some of it might have been more of like, oh my goodness kind of thing laughing. But at the same time too, I was enjoying myself throughout. I did enjoy it. Would I pay a whole lot of money to see this movie? Probably not. I don't know if this is like a really like, hey, I have to see this or you have to see this. If you're paying money, go, you know, pay money for it. But if you have a group of friends together and stuff, I think this is a good movie for that.
It's almost a friend get together type movie where it's just like, oh, let's watch something stupid and gory. So, if you're into Foo Fighters, you'll definitely like it. There's a lot there. There's probably inside jokes that are just way over my head.
Yep.
Like, I didn't follow the band that close. I do like their music, but no, not a groupie or anything. If you're into metal, you're gonna like it. There's good metal moments in this, rocking, hard rock and stuff like that. So there's definitely something for those particular fans to go see, because we haven't had a lot of movies recently that are that kind of music. And you know, as the one of the people says, like, rock hasn't been relevant for decades or whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, you know. So if you're into rock, there's a lot here. If you're into the comedy horror stuff, I think it kind of misses a little bit on it from time to time. I enjoyed the film mostly. I didn't dislike it, but I probably wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. Like Matt said, it's probably something much more geared towards group viewings. Just like have fun watching it.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest thing is I had fun through most of the film.
But of course, we want to know what you guys think. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? If you've seen Studio 666, let us know what you think about it down in the comments below. We also have other new movie reviews, flashback movie reviews, some TV series reviews, and some deeper dive discussions. Make sure to go to our YouTube page and check those out.
Also be sure to check out our Facebook page. We put some different posts on there from time to time on our different fandoms. We also post a day before our videos come out to let you know what the next video is going to be. Our videos come out on a schedule. If you don't have Facebook, just put us on your calendar every Monday and Thursday. Now, I'm Matt with No Market Media. Have a good day, everyone.
And I'm Randall. See everyone next time.
Next time on No Market Media. please consider checking out some of our other videos.